most people say comparison is a thief of joy. I actually think it's not only a thief of joy, it is a disrespect to God's plan for your life. So when you stand on the hill of comparison, do not just take the good part of that person that you're comparing yourself with and what they went through. You have to take everything. Keep abandoning your own self-growth to look at what the other person is doing. And you will keep doing this cycle until you learn to stay on your own lane and you honor your growth process. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you guys are back. So as you've seen, according to the title of this video, we're talking about something very interesting, and that is comparison, and why comparison is such a disrespect to God's plans for you. Okay, so if this is something that interests you, kindly don't forget to share, subscribe, and just like the video. And if most people say comparison is a thief of joy, I actually think it's not only a thief of joy, it is a disrespect to God's plan for your life. Okay, so you're not just only comparing yourself and removing all the joy of your life, you're actually disrespecting the plan that God has for you, because you keep looking at the other person. If you happen to compare yourself with me, with anybody else, or if I happen to compare my life with anybody else and how their life is going, that is just a disrespect to the plan that God has for me. Because as much as we are all human beings created by God, we also have to understand that we are unique beings. Like we are not the same, and we're not here to accomplish this almost the same purpose. We are here to accomplish, we have an assignment, and we are here to accomplish different purposes. It means I am actually working out of God alignment and God plan for my life. Because I can't do both. I can't stay in God's alignment and God's design for my life, and I still have to follow your own alignment and your own God-given design. Okay? So I feel like also God had a plan for you as an individual of how He wants your life to pan out, or how He has designed your life to be. So He has this is a blueprint for Julia, and then there's a blueprint for maybe, let's say, another person, right? So you having to come and build your life on my blueprint means you have to abandon your own God-given blueprint, because you cannot mix both. You cannot copy my blueprint on top of your own blueprint. I don't know if it makes sense. When I was thinking about comparison generally as a topic, I was looking for an analogy to try and explain how sad it is for you to actually even focus, remove your eyes from your own life to someone else's life. Okay, assuming there are two kind of trees. This is just an analogy. I was actually looking into this. There's an oak tree, and then there's a Chinese bamboo tree. Okay, so when you plant these two trees, a bamboo and an oak tree, within a year, the oak tree has grown. Okay, but guess what? There's this other plant called bamboo, Chinese bamboo. This tree will take 5 good years for it to grow. Okay, so if you plant these two trees in your compound, okay, you have to water the trees, right? So within an year, you can see the fruit of an oak tree. But guess what? Every day you go, after the first year, you're still watering the bamboo tree. The second year, you're still watering the bamboo tree. The third year, you're still watering the bamboo tree. The fourth and the fifth year, you're still watering the Chinese bamboo tree. Because this tree, what happens? It first grows on the downward, like it goes on the root, then it shows on top. Okay, so it does not show a reflection of anything. It's like when you decide to do anything, right? There's the people who see the result very fast, and there are people that it takes a long time before they are able to see any results. Okay, does it mean that the bamboo tree was not growing? No, it was growing, but it was growing below, like it was creating extensive root. It was trying to create stability first on the ground before it actually shoots up. Now listen to this. After the 5th year, what the Chinese bamboo tree does, it within the first 6 weeks, okay, so for the last 5 years, you've not seen any sign of growth, you've not seen any sign of fruits, you've not seen, it's like you're doing nothing. If someone was to watch you water a Chinese bamboo tree, they will think you're crazy, right? On some of us, and most of us will actually end up uprooting that tree because you're thinking, it can't be true, it can't be right. How comes this is my fourth, not even, let me tell you, we are not patient to wait for 5 years, okay? So there's a possibility within the second year you have uprooted that bamboo tree, right? Because once the first year, this other one is showing fruit, you might end up killing the bamboo tree because you're thinking, this tree is taking too long to actually grow. So you might end up removing the bamboo tree to only plant oak tree, okay? Because you can see the results, okay? You can see that within a year it has grown. This bamboo tree, after the 5th year, okay? After the 5th year, so someone is looking at you, watering your dreams, and they're thinking, she must be crazy. How comes she's still doing the same thing? How comes this person is always going to that, waking up to do the same thing? We cannot see the result. You actually, those people are right to talk about you. They are right to actually speak on those because they are thinking we cannot see the results, okay? But at the same time, it's not like you're not working. It's not like you're not watering that tree. It just means you first go on your inside before you shoot on the outside, right? Okay? So, within the first, after the 5th year, the 5 years, within 6 weeks, guess what? That tree shoots up so high, it's crazy. So now 5 years, nothing has happened. No one has seen any results. But give it after the 5th year, within 6 weeks, that tree grows up so fast. Okay? Was the tree not growing? It was, but it was growing from the inside before it came outside. Okay? So, when you put yourself against a person and you do not know their ability and why they're here, some people are Chinese bamboo trees. It takes them a long time to shoot up, to show results, for you to see their work. Why do you think, like, you hear someone has come to the scene, maybe they are athletes, or they have been running, or they are playing football. You think they just started playing football. You think, at the back of your mind, you're thinking, where did this person come from? And why are they so famous right now? Some of these people started playing football when they were 6 years old, okay? But because they were not in front of your eyes, they were not standing, they were practicing, they were working on their craft, you will never know that this person has been working. Okay? Some people, it takes so long before they come on the scene. But when they come on the scene, you think it is just an overnight success. You think this person just woke up and became the best actress. You think this person woke up and became the best YouTuber. You think this person just woke up and just garnered that position as a CEO. Ask them where they started. Ask these people where it started, because when you were watering your bamboo tree, okay, no one was clapping for you. In fact, people think you're crazy. You must be crazy, because we can't see the results. If this person has been going to practice day in and day out, why are we not seeing any results? So that's why it is important, and it's so sad to actually see someone compare themselves to anybody. For you to compare your life to any person when you do not understand what kind of a person and what is your purpose, you will be missing out. You're going to be very sad, and you will continuously abort your dreams. Keep abandoning yourself, your dreams, your life, because you think they are taking too long. Okay? So you leave this, you go to another one. Okay? Because you're thinking, I saw that person plant an oak tree. How comes their compound is full of trees? So I'm going to stop planting this. So you go to your neighbor and ask your neighbor, what kind of a tree is that you've planted? They say, I have planted an oak tree. You go to your compound, you remove all the trees, the bamboo trees probably, or any other tree that takes longer than an year. You clear it and you plant your neighbor's tree. Okay? So this is a problem again. You have to understand also the soil test. Okay? So some people, you might see your neighbor growing a certain type of tree because the soil test and the soil fertility and the soil mineral support whatever they are growing in their compound. Okay? That's not to say that even if your neighbors, guys, even if this neighbor is here and the next neighbor, this is your compound and you have another neighbor on another compound, it does not necessarily mean just because you live on the same areas that the trees that she's grown or the tree that this person has grown are going to do well in your own compound. Because your mineral component of your soil is probably not the same as the mineral compound of that land. So what you see growing there might actually not be the right thing for you to grow in your compound, okay? So what is the best thing to do is for you to take a test, the soil test. And when I say this, guys, I hope you're understanding this is just an analogy to help you understand why it will be so wrong for you to even put yourself in this and see what the other person is doing without checking your own soil capacity, your own fertility of your soil, your own minerals. Like, you test the soil to understand, can I grow a mango tree here? Can I grow an avocado tree here? Can I grow this tree here? Because your neighbor is probably growing oranges. You think they will do well in your neighbor's in your own compound, okay? That might not be true. So every time you don't check your soil fertility, your internal fertility, your capacity, your soil retention of water and minerals, and you go and copy what the other person is doing only to come and try to plant it on your soil, you become a very unhappy and a sad person, because there's a possibility the outcome that you have seen with your neighbors are not going to be the same outcome that is going to happen in your own compound. Because just because you live on the same estate, you live on the same area, you went to the same university, you went to the same high school, it doesn't mean that the path that has been created for us will be the same. Why is it that all of us went to the same high school, we went to the same colleges, but when we leave the school, we end up going to totally different direction? Even the people we went to do the same course. So if I did finance and business management and we were a class of I don't know how many people, why is it that even after graduation, not all of us went into doing the same thing that they did in school? Why is it that some of us went to become teachers? Why is it that some of us became accountant? Why is it some of us became business people? Why is it that some of us became consultant? Why? Because if you keep putting your life that just because we went to the same university, we did the same degree, so we must get the same opportunities, our path must be charted the same way, you will be the saddest human being. Because as much as we got the same degree, as much as we went to the same school, we are here for different plans. We are here to serve different purposes. That is just the baseline of our knowledge. Because you have the baseline of the accounting and the finance. What does that mean? It means you can you are doing farming, but you have such a diverse knowledge of how to manage your farm because of the baseline of the accounting and the finance. You don't have to necessarily use your degree or your master's to do the same thing that everybody else is doing, okay? So guys, let's go back. So when you stand on the hill of comparison, you deny and disrespect. You disrespect. In fact, you should not even be telling people, I feel like you're disrespecting me. You're the first disrespecter of your own life when you keep comparing yourself, okay? And something else I'm going to say, guys. When you choose to put yourself and to stand on the hill of comparison, do not just take the good part of that person that you're comparing yourself with. I want you to be able to be willing to also understand their most difficult and what they went through. You have to take everything, because for you to say you want someone's life, I want her life, you have to be willing. You know, every time I remind myself, Julia, if you decide to compare yourself with any person, please be willing to take even the darkest, the hardest, the part that they went through that never came to the light. You have to be willing, because a person is not just made of the good part. A person is just not composed of only what you're seeing. It is also the things that behind the scene, the sadness, the the crying that they never showed you. It is everything that happened behind the scene. So be willing to not only see my life on the camera, you must be willing to also take up the burden, the everything that I have carried for me to be the person I am today. The beauty that you exude is just not only of your positive. The kindness that you exude is just not because you are a good, probably you're the kindest person. It's because probably you've gone through things that have just made you such a kind person, or because of your experiences in life, of the person that you have become is composed of all the experiences, the good and the bad. Because we're a human being and we see people's progress. Someone is progressing very fast, so we are just like, when will it be my turn? When will be my turn? When will the day come that I'm also going to enjoy my life the way you supposedly think this person is enjoying their life? Okay, so it is a human nature. But the problem is not you looking at someone's life from a small glimpse of someone's life, and you think that is their whole life. Okay, so the issue is not just to look at someone's life, is to also catch yourself in that moment where you want to compare yourself and think, how comes I finish my university the same year as my friends, and all of them have gotten a job and I'm yet to get a job? Okay, and go back to God. Show me the purpose that what is my purpose here? What is my design? What am I supposed to be doing here? As I wait for you to open doors for me, okay? Because it is very clear that some of your friends went ahead and got very good jobs, okay? And it took you probably 3 to 4 years to get a job. But when you got the job, you can see how fast you're able to accelerate. Because it's not just amount of how long it took for you to get the job. Because when you are waiting for the job to come, you did a very manual jobs. You got paid less money, so you learned to work with small amount of money. You are broken down into understanding that if you had pride, the pride was worked on, because you realize, I have this master's, but I'm not getting the kind of job that I want. So I'm going to go and do this work that I don't even think I would have even in a million years envisioned myself doing this kind of work. So pride was worked on. I don't know, something inside of you was worked on. So you are being molded as you are waiting for the job. So 5 years down the line, an opportunity opens up. You have less expectation because you've lived through your life thinking, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't come, it doesn't come. They choose you for that job. And now, because there is something that has been worked on, you're not only mature on the outside, there's something that you know that probably someone who's straight from school, someone who has come straight from school, does not understand. So they look at you and they say, this person is a humble man, a humble woman. Because what you've not told them is that I finished school 5 years ago and I had never gotten a job. And I have a master's degree in this a line of work, but I never got my job. But when I was waiting, I worked as a cleaner. I washed dishes. I did housekeeping. I did things that I could not even try to explain the people I was working with that I actually have a master's degree. Okay? In hospitality industry, in finance and whatever. So something about you was being worked on, right? So when someone sees you, they want to admire you, and they're just thinking, he's not only earning high income, he's such a humble person, she's such a kind human being. So when you're put in a position of management, you will not run people, you will not treat people with unkindness, because you have been through the ringer, you have been molded in a certain way, you now understand things that people don't understand, you have been humbled enough, you will actually be such a good leader because you've gone through a certain season in your life, okay? So this person who comes just and sees your life as a glimpse, as a snippet, and they have sleepless nights, guys. You have sleepless night because of someone you don't even know what they have gone through. So if you decide to compare yourself, for example, with that person that I've talked about, If I was to tell you also, if you want what they have, you have to go back and live the kind of life they've been living for them to be where they are. Are you going to still want that kind of, are you still going to want what they have? Because that is something that you have to think about, yeah? Are you going to want the kind of life that you see as a snippet when they tell you where they have come from? Are you willing to drag yourself backwards, stay 5 years, do all those things, and then come and receive the things that this person has received? Okay? Because that's what comparison does. You will remove yourself of joy. You're going to remove yourself of the present moment, the teachable present moment when you look at someone's life. And because this person has probably not even told you their story, you're going to die in that mountain of comparison. So it is an issue of comparison. For me, I feel like it's such a disrespect to yourself, to your maker. Now, let me give you another example. Yeah? Because I like working with the example. So, if one person decides they are going to do a 4-story building, okay, and someone else decides to do a bungalow, okay, a 4-bedroom bungalow, and someone decides to do a 4-story building, okay, these two people are building. That's a fact, okay? These people are going to use stones, they're going to use cement, they're going to use sand, they're going to use steel, okay? But here is the tricky part. When you decide to do a bungalow, you don't need to do a strong foundation. Not to say you're not going to do foundation. You're both going to do foundation, okay? But the steel that is going to be used to do a 4-story building and the steel that is going to be used on the foundation to do the bungalow might not be the same, okay? Second, something else. When you decide to build a 4-story building, the digging that goes down, the kind of foundation that is done on the going downwards, requires a lot of resources, it requires a lot of money, it requires a lot of building materials, because the foundation has to be strong for it to sustain a 4-story building, okay? But when you're doing a bungalow, you don't have to dig so deep, and you don't have to put a lot of the resources that is going to go on inside. Building a bungalow is different than the resources that is going to be used when you're doing a 4-story building, okay? So we are all building bungalows, 4-story, 8 stories, 10 stories building. So if I was to do a bungalow, okay, and you are to do a 4-story building, right, and I happen, or you happen to remove yourself from your building, your 4-story building, which means if I use 1 million to do my foundation, you will use 4 million to do your foundation, right? If you remove your eyes, my guys, if you remove your eyes from your goal, if you remove your eyes from your building to check what I've been doing, and you see within 1 day my foundation is standing, and for you have just been pouring cement, you've been pouring concrete, you've been pouring a lot of, like, the amount of concrete that goes into a story building, you will be, I don't know, your mind is gonna be blown away. Like, you're going to think it's like a dark hole that is just sucking in concrete, and it's not getting enough of the concrete, right? So if you remove your eyes and you wake up one day, so we start today, okay? So today being on the, for example, 6th of April. So you remove so we all start today, and tomorrow you wake up on the 7th of April and you find my foundation is done, and yours is still sucking in cement. And because you now you feel bad, you don't even sleep thinking, how did she do that fast? And I didn't show you, I did not share my plans with you. You see, this is the tricky part. I did not tell you I was doing a bungalow. I did not know you were doing a 4-story building. All you know is that we started building at the same time, okay? So you see me, that my foundation is done, but your foundation is still sucking in concrete and concrete, because it has to be stable enough to be able to sustain the foundation. Okay, so when you wake up and see my foundation is done and you don't sleep, and now you abandon your blueprint and your architectural design to just come and see, oh, she does that. So you tell the people who are building, stop there, stop there, now you can just, I don't know, finish the foundation. If you decide to build the 4-story building having not finished the foundation completely, will the story building be, will this building be able to stand test of time? Because when, for example, you have a small shake-up, this building is going to crumble. And you're going to cry when you see my house is not shakeable, because I did not do the foundation of a 4-story building. I did a foundation of a bungalow. And so when the wind come and when the storm come, I am telling you, your 4-story building is about to crumble like bread, because you refuse to finish the work, the complete work of making sure your foundation is done, because you moved your eyes from your work, you came to check my work. When you didn't understand, my blueprint was for a 4-bedroom bungalow, but yours was for a 4-story house. So, guys, are you seeing how disrespectful, how and I don't even know which word to say without even feeling. Are you seeing how disservice you're going to do to your future self when you start shooting up? Because you're going to finish, because you're going to say, I don't care, just finish it. I will not do it. Just finish and start now raising the building. So you raise quickly because you want to compete with me, right? So now everyone can see you did a 4-story building, but because of impatience, because of lack of patience and lack of perseverance and lack of allowing your journey of growth to be your own journey of growth, when the storm comes, you will stand on your building and start crying, because it will come down. It will come down. It will not stand test of time, because you keep abandoning your own self-growth to look at what the other person is doing. And when you start looking like you're building, your house keep crumbling down. Because you what you don't understand, there's a time that when you're doing your inner work, people don't see the cries, the crying at night. People don't see the perseverance. People don't see how demons you had to fight, your internal demons that you had to fight for you to get to the place that you want to take. If you do any shortcut of your growth, even if you grow, you will somehow, there's a possibility of you going back to step 0, because a shortcut means you got there but you didn't get there how you were supposed to get there, right? So you get there, then you realize there's a step that you missed. So you build a house of card and it comes tumbling down. Then you have to start the work all over again. And you will keep doing this cycle until you learn to stay on your own lane, and you honor your growth process. You honor your life growth. You honor the blueprint of your own building until you understand what kind of a tree you are. You will be building and it crumbles down. You will be planting, the wind comes, the tree is broken. You will be, now this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. It's just not about just comparison. It is about how the service and how long it will take you to get to your destination, because you keep abandoning your blueprint. So it's time for you to wake up. Study your own blueprint. Understand your purpose, your God-given purpose on this life, and understand that I might not be here just because we went to the same school, just because we went to the same university, just because we work in the same organization, just because we're in the same business. It does not mean our growth is going to be the same. It does not mean that we're all going to grow or achieve success at the same rate. Okay? So you better start now studying your own life to understand, God, show me my purpose. Why am I here? If this growth takes me 5 years, I am going to be patient. Teach me patience. Teach me perseverance. Show me and make me understand that my growth is not Julia's growth. Julia's growth is not Wanjiro's growth. Wanjiro's growth is not Wanjiko's growth. Wanjiko's growth is not I don't know. Now you understand how important it is to just understand your journey, and just to, so that when you see another person having done something, you don't have to necessarily compare yourself to that person. You can be, I'm so happy that she's able to do this, that this person is able to achieve this, because I know my time will come, because my journey is not her journey. Her journey is not like someone else's journey. Okay, so guys, it is important. Having allowed me to rant for like 20 minutes, I can see like this video is too long. So having allowed me to rant, let's be people who cheer when other people achieve their dreams, because our time will come, because we cannot all achieve our dreams at the same time. We have different timeline. That's not to say that ours will not come. It just means it might take longer than what we expected, but it will eventually come. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for staying until the end of this video. If you like this video, kindly don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.